everyone, it's SimLicy here. Today I'm back with another video, and this time it's another vampire inspired build, and this time it's an actual starter build. So I am so happy about that because my last build was intended to be a starter build and it just did not turn out that way. I got carried away with all the new items, so this one is an actual starter, and I actually think it turned out pretty cute. It's actually heavily detailed on the exterior, which is what I really wanted, because since Victorian homes are so detailed and intricate, especially around their friezes and their porch areas and the different little towers and stuff that they had, I didn't want it to lose that kind of effect. So I think I achieved that quite well. It's a really cute little house, and it's kind of cramped on the inside, so that's perfect for a starter because nobody expects your starter house to be extravagant or spacious or anything. So it's a cramped little house, but I think it would probably be easily expandable if you did live in it for a while and wanted to expand and grow your little family inside. But I of course just made it for one sim, and there's like a loft style bedroom up on the top floor. I just didn't I didn't want to spend money on walls, honestly, and doors, so I kept it quite open. And then there's a computer in here because that's something I really wanted to add in the starter house, because it's really nice when you can afford a computer right away to start getting things done, and especially for a vampire if they need to order plasma or do any research about becoming or being a vampire. So I added that, and I also searched up the debug items by typing in show hidden objects, and placed the book that this is the first volume of the series of vampire books that they can read about being a vampire. So I placed that in a little end table next to a chair inside the living room, which I thought was kind of a cool idea. I really love this flooring, and I was going to do some cool pattern right here, but I thought that was a little bit too pretty for what I wanted to. That's the way I wanted this build to look, but I would like to revisit that in the future. So I had mentioned in my last build that I really liked the green swatch that came on the door and in, I think, the windows and the cabinet. So I really love that green color, so I went all out with the green and gray kind of theme with this house, and it looks really cool. I think I just love that color. I didn't use the cabinets because they're just too expensive, so I went with the city living really cheap cabinets because they were just the best option for a starter house. And I was able to put a gargoyle on the roof. I was so excited about that. Oh my goodness, those are like my favorite items now. I want to use them all the time. Like, I just love them. So I'm just pulling out the items right now that I want to make sure that I use, just because they're going to be, things that I want to make sure I have in this house, and I don't want to forget about them or start adding other decorations that I will have a hard time getting rid of. So I just pulled those out really quick, and this is the bathroom right here, and so I'm just figuring out the shape, and I really wanted to use this new door. I know I could have used a cheaper door, but I just wanted to use it, so that's what I did. And this is the little kitchen area, and I had contemplated on whether or not to actually make it like a real kitchen. I was just going to do some countertops with a sink, but I ended up getting a fridge and stove as well as a sink in there. So if you are living in Forgotten Hollow as a mortal sim, you could live here without any problems, except for there's no toilet. So you would want to get a toilet, because I didn't add a toilet because sim vampires do not need to use the bathroom like mortal sims, but you could easily add one, I think. You would probably have to save up a little bit of money because my sim didn't have very much after I was done building this, but I think you should have some, and you could always do, collect things or get a job and buy yourself a toilet. But anyway, so I'm using the new wallpaper, of course. I just love it so much, especially this one that I used down in the living room kitchen area because it has little bats on it, and I really like that. I thought about using the city living wallpaper in the bathroom that has like the water stains and stuff on it, and I end up changing that because I really wanted to use this fancy floor tile, and it didn't look right to me with the wallpaper. So I do change it to another bat wallpaper. I just like it. And then I do use some of the interior wallpaper on the exterior, and I did that on my last vampire build, and I just I don't know, I just like the way it looks. I just really like this wallpaper, so I'm gonna use them everywhere I can. And I go with the spooky stuff pack, like kind of worn boards for the rest of the wallpaper. But yeah, so hopefully you guys like this, and if you would like to download it into your game, the download link will be in the description, of course. My last build has so many downloads on the gallery, so I just want to, if you saw that on my channel and went to download it, thank you so much. But otherwise, I got a little bit of recognition from the gallery, which was pretty cool. It's definitely my most downloaded build so far, and that's pretty neat. I did put a chimney on the roof, even though there's no fireplace, which I couldn't afford it, but you could probably fit one in later on if you would like to. But I just like the way it looked, and I thought it balanced out the roofing. And I wanted to add more plants, but I was trying to keep the budget as tight as I could. Even though these plants that come with this vampire pack are so cheap, it's really nice that we have so many cheap plants now, because we can actually make starters look a little bit more overgrown and a little bit more lush. So that's a pretty cool thing that I liked. And I had to use this chair. I couldn't help myself. I know I could have used a more cheaper chair for a starter, but I couldn't help myself. I just think it's so cool and so vampire-y that it had to be in a vampire starter. And I wanted to do like a bookcase built-in TV shelf thing here, but the one that I wanted to use was too expensive, so I do go back to it and change it out for a cheaper one in just a few moments. But that's what I wanted to do. But I think it looks good with what I end up doing. And then I use this worn rug too, and I really like that. That's a cool rug. I use it upstairs under the coffin too. I'm just like still in like, I don't know, I'm just enjoying this pack so much. It's just so nice to have so many new items, and they're unique items. I think I'm just having a great time with it. But anyways, my villa build has over 700 views now. The last time I checked, that is insane. Like, I don't have anything that comes close to that, and I wish that the commentary wasn't such garbage on that video. I was like all hyper, and like my mind was everywhere, and I wasn't organized, and it's kind of embarrassing that that's the video that most people have judged my channel on. But anyways, if you have watched that and liked it, I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos. It's been pretty cool lately. I've hit some milestones as a person with a YouTube channel, so I've just had a good time lately. So I just want to thank you guys for subscribing or watching, or however you are supporting my channel. I appreciate it. And then I desperately tried to put a kitchen table in this build. You see me struggle with this a lot, and the problem was, I think the actual little table is so expensive. There's not really a good kind of not modern, really cheap table. Like the cheapest table, it's okay, but it's a little bit too modern. It almost looks like it has like kind of a concrete frame to it, like it's a little bit industrial looking. So I really wanted to use that one and ended up having to sell it later on. But this is the bedroom with the coffin, and that bird in a jar is 0 simoleons, so that was pretty cool to be able to add some extra decoration. And I was gonna leave the computer desk and chair up there, but I ended up moving it down to where I was trying to put the little kitchenette, so you'll see that in just a moment. And I was contemplating getting rid of some of those windows, but I decided not to, because I just like the way they look so much. So I just go back to struggling with the chair, and then I delete it, and then I get it back, and then I delete it, and then I get it back. But I think now it's deleted for good. I can't remember exactly, but I try to make sure that these builds are lit up a little bit. I mean, obviously I couldn't put too many lights on the exterior of this build because it has to be a cheap one, but I do want it to be lit up, since the vampires are most likely to be out at night. If you are outside doing anything that you need to do as a vampire, you want to be able to see your house and see around outside. That's what I was thinking anyway. So I put that little jar that's like disgusting. It looks like there's probably like a head or something in it on the counter from the Show Hidden Objects cheat, which I had to do because it's just kind of cool. But now I'm just starting to use all these different cool little wall patterns, or not wall patterns, wall decals, I guess, that we got with this pack, with the cracks and the worn wallpaper and the boards showing through and the scratches and all the cobwebs. The cobwebs do cost money, but all of the other ones do not. So there is a lot of them, though. I made sure to save money for the cobwebs because those are so cool, and the animations are so disgusting with the little, like, I'm not really afraid of spiders, but I definitely don't want them crawling on me or these giant spider webs in my house, of course, but they're pretty disgusting. They're pretty awful. I actually lived in our old house, the one that we used to own. There was so many black widows. We lived like in the desert in California, and there was black widows everywhere. We were like infested. I had one in my hair one time. It was just a nightmare. It was disgusting. So like I loved that house and everything, but the spiders were too much to handle. But at least they weren't snakes, because I would never live anywhere with a snake. Like I would disown family members if they had snakes in their house. Like I'm like never going to see you again. I'm sorry. That's just how it's gonna be. Anyways, now we're moving on to the upstairs, and I really tried to make it look just stressed up here. Like a lot more cobwebs and cracks and scratches on the walls. But and I just moved the computer downstairs, and then I also have a plasma tree up there in that little potted plant, and I decided to add another one. They'll probably be too large to keep upstairs once they're fully grown, but the sim that I had playtested did grow them a little bit, so when you do download this, they will be there, but you might want to move them outside once they're grown, because yeah, it'd probably be hard to move around or anything. But for now, I didn't really have anything to clutter up, so that's what I used. But I made sure to put a lot of cobwebs upstairs and downstairs because they are there. I just wanted it to look as if somebody hasn't lived here in a long time, and possibly the sim that moved in here found this house and was like, okay, it's cheap and it's really gross and just full of cobwebs and cracks and it's broken down, but I can afford it, and maybe they'll fix it up, who knows. But that's kind of a cool idea. I thought I'm just having a lot of fun with all these items, and I thought to add some out here on the gargoyle, and I also add some on the porch as well. And then I think I changed out that light because I realized that the other lights, the cheapest outdoor light, was better to use because it's cheaper and it gives out plenty of light. So then I was able to add one on, I think on the upper part of the roof as well, just to light it up a little bit more. Because like I said earlier, I think that's kind of important since vampires are going to spend so much time outside. But just seeing where I could fit any more cobwebs than I could, because I just had to. So here's when I change out the light in just a few moments, I guess. Yeah, right now. See, I think that lights it up pretty good, and it's a cheap light too. So that's what I did. But yeah, we're already to the end. So I just want to thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have. Okay, bye.